MST or not to MST? That is the question. I can kind of understand why this is actually a question. Some people don't feel that MST is necessary because one emptiness, one skill drain. So you're less likely to get shat on by those cards, but since they are at one not banned, you can still possibly get shat on by those cards. I don't know what this was. And because of this potential risk of you getting shat on by those cards, I personally would just like to have some number of MST. Doesn't have to be 3, but just some motherfucking number of some spell trap removal. It doesn't even have to be space, but it usually is space because it's the most versatile. Maybe this is just me being too conservative, aka a bitch nigga. I will be the bitch today. I'd rather have the space just in case shit happens. If my opponent decides to use that same philosophy, maybe we don't need the main space, so people don't main space. But somebody else might take that information and play a shit ton more traps. I should have main space. I'm just saying this shit could happen. I don't want to be that person that takes out space entirely from the main deck. I'm just saying I'd rather just have it in the deck. Even though space by itself doesn't really do shit. It is generally a reactive card to your opponent's stuff. It is a preventative measure, aka a condom, some form of contraception. But some people are really greedy and they're like, well, do I really need space? But I want to have it just in case. If I'm playing a deck that gets shat on by the one of Floodgates. I saw Cleese versus Lightsworn, and Lightsworn got shat on by the one of Skill Drain, which conveniently the Clee guy happened to open every game. Just saying, shit happens. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not saying that not playing space is stupid. What I'm saying is that you're running that risk of getting shat on. Of course, having the spaces in the deck and you don't draw them, that's a thing as well, but I'd rather have them in the deck, and I would like to chalk it up as me not drawing the space rather than not having them in the main deck at all, and then you're like, I should have just played space. I have never, ever taken space out of my decks. Never, ever, ever. You taking space out the deck is basically hoping that your opponent does not draw well, or well enough to get those floodgates that are limited. I don't like hedging my odds on my opponent not drawing well, because we know, or at least you should have some idea on how that usually turns out. He sacked me. Well, you should have had space, motherfucker. In conclusion, I understand the no space thing. I'm just too much of a bitch to do that. But I guess this is why I don't play in tournaments. I just do videos on this shit. I'm too much of a bitch, apparently. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate that shit. If you would like to support me, or I don't fucking know, all I ask is you spend literally seconds out your motherfucking day and click a motherfucking advertisement. The money accumulated from you doing that simple ass shit goes towards rent and other living expenses, mostly rent. Now I'd be grateful as a motherfucker and appreciative as a motherfucker. You can find some time to do that. I don't know why I keep doing this the whole video. I don't know.